Royal shocker. Princess Leonor's refused certain guests at her wedding. A royal wedding. A day of love. A day of unity. But not everyone is welcome. Invitations denied. Guests refused. Princess Leonor made a shocking choice. Why? The truth is deeper than anyone dares to say. The announcement of Princess Leonor's wedding was meant to be a symbol of joy, hope, and a new chapter for Spain's future queen. Every detail has been dissected by the media. From her dress, to the location, to the guest list. Yet, beneath the glittering surface, an unexpected storm brewed. Princess Leonor refused to allow certain guests to attend. And this decision has shaken the royal world. At first glance, it seems unthinkable. A royal wedding is not just a union of two hearts, but of dynasties, traditions, and diplomacy. Guests aren't simply family and friends. They are symbols, representatives, power brokers in crowns and gowns. So why would Leonor take the bold risk of refusing certain people entry to her big day? The answer lies deep within the tension between love, family, and politics. Let's begin with the guest list itself. In Spain, tradition dictates that a royal wedding welcomes leaders from across Europe. Kings, queens, princes, and princesses. Religious figures. Political allies. Even distant relatives with historic connections. A full tapestry of the monarchy's influence. But Leonor wanted something different. Her vision wasn't of a crowded hall filled with strangers. It was of an intimate, controlled environment. A space where love, not politics, stood at the center. And this is where the first fracture appeared. Reports from insiders suggest that Princess Leonor flatly refused to invite certain aristocrats from Spain's own nobility. These were families who, for generations, held ties to the royal household. Families who expected to be present. Yet Leonor allegedly said no. Her reasoning: she wanted no distractions, no whispers of past scandals, no faces that reminded her of betrayals, rivalries, or shadowy histories. But that's not all. Internationally, speculation grew louder. Would all European royals be invited? Sources close to the palace reveal that Leonor rejected the idea of inviting some controversial figures. Certain royals from houses embroiled in financial or marital scandals were cut from the list. Leonor, even at her young age, seemed determined to draw a line. Her wedding would not become a stage for those whose reputations could stain the day. This decision shocked many within the establishment. For centuries, royal weddings were not personal, they were political. To exclude someone was to send a message. And Leonor's choices were heard loud and clear. But let us ask the deeper question. Was this truly Leonor's will, or was it a carefully choreographed move by her parents, King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia? Here lies the second layer of intrigue. Queen Letizia has long been a polarizing figure within European royalty. A commoner who entered the royal household, she faced criticism from aristocrats who saw her as an outsider. Could Leonor's refusal to invite certain noble families be her way of supporting her mother? A quiet rebellion against those who never accepted Letizia. The whispers inside palace walls suggest exactly that. But if the refusals were about protecting her family, they were also about protecting her future. Leonor is not just a bride. She is the heir. Every step she takes sets the tone for the monarchy of tomorrow. Her decision to control her wedding guest list wasn't an act of immaturity, it was a declaration. A sign that her reign will be defined not by blind tradition, but by selective modernity. Still, the mystery grows deeper. Among those speculated to have been refused were individuals with past ties to the Spanish crown, disgraced relatives, controversial cousins, and even figures connected to former King Juan Carlos. The scandal around the former monarch has left scars. Financial controversies, exiles, and personal betrayals. For Leonor, allowing such figures near her wedding would mean dragging old shadows into her moment of light. She chose instead to shut the doors. But in doing so, she opened another Pandora's box. What happens when royals refuse royals? Tensions ripple across borders. Every slight, every exclusion, can be read as insult. In Denmark, the question arose, would Prince Christian's circle be welcomed entirely? Or would Leonor apply the same razor-sharp standard to his side of the family? If so, what message does that send to the union itself? This is where curiosity deepens. Because every name removed sparks another question. Who, then, truly made the cut? Who holds the honor of standing beside Spain's future queen on her most sacred day? Reports suggest that Leonor insisted on inviting a select group of friends from her years of schooling at UWC Atlantic College and the military academy. Young, fresh faces, not bound by politics, but by personal bonds. This itself raised eyebrows. Would the queen-in-waiting prioritize classmates over dukes and duchesses? According to insiders, yes. To Leonor, authenticity mattered more than appearances. And yet, this sparks another dilemma. In choosing authenticity, does Leonor risk alienating those who keep the monarchy afloat? The aristocrats, the allies, the old blood. By refusing them, she may be sowing seeds of resentment that could one day haunt her reign. But let us not forget the human heart at the center of this storm. Princess Leonor is not simply a symbol. She is a young woman, preparing to stand beside her chosen partner. And like any bride, she dreams of a wedding free of tension. She dreams of walking down the aisle surrounded by love, not politics. In that sense, her refusals are not cold, but deeply human. Still, the contradictions remain. A royal wedding is never only personal. It is watched by millions. Every detail dissected. Every decision judged. By refusing certain guests, Leonor may have secured her peace, but she also ignited a fire of speculation that may never fully burn out. And this is where the greatest curiosity loop unfolds. If Leonor is willing to refuse certain guests now, what will this reveal about her reign as queen? Will she continue to rewrite the rules, placing loyalty and personal conviction above centuries-old customs? Or will the pressure of the crown eventually force her into compromise? The answer remains hidden, just like the unspoken names on that rejected list. But one thing is certain, this wedding is no longer just about love. It is about power, about family, about legacy, and most of all, about a princess who dares to say no, even when the world expects her to say yes. So as Spain prepares for the grandest royal wedding of its era, one question will linger in the minds of all who watch. Who wasn't there, and why? And that question may echo far longer than the vows themselves.